Guys, how's it going? So today I am bringing you a tutorial for how to hopefully as efficiently as possible do blast mining with blast drills and blast charges or mining charges. It is a really important thing in the game. Blasting with blast drills and mining charges is really important. There are many different recipes that require slabs, and the only way to acquire slabs is through blasting. So it is really quite important. I'm looking for one that requires blasting now. Like the second recipe for relay circuits require Atlantum slabs, which can only be gotten through blasting. Iron mechanisms require blasting. Gearbox requires a lot of blasting. There are several different, that one as well, several different recipes throughout the game that require blasting. So it is really quite important, and obviously the blasting drill you will unlock hopefully by the time that you already have watched this video. So it is quite important. And then on top of just doing it efficiently, there is a little bit of a benefit that you do get from adding more blast charges or mining charges than is required. So you can do mining with a single blast charge like this. Like that, you get one blast charge. But if you add many more blast charges, like that for instance, then you will get more of the recipe as well. So you can see there, I think 400% is basically the most that you can actually get. But that's not as efficient as just adding a single blast charge. So you saw there, I added 12 blast charges and I got 4 pieces of ore, but one blast charge gives 1. So it is really not very efficient to quote unquote waste additional blast charges, even though the blast charges or the mining charges are not very expensive. It's not very expensive at all to craft, and if you do have a lot of these resources, then it might be worth quote unquote wasting more resources, wasting more mining charges in order to get more resources. But all that really does is it saves you time. You're wasting resources to save time, to get these resources faster. So that's not really very efficient. So I'm going to show you how to hopefully not waste any charges. So over here we have, I think, 17 lined up. So I am going to do a demonstration over here. I didn't do it in just a small number on purpose so that I can show you guys how it would be in the real world. This is not the perfect scenario, but you are not gonna have the perfect scenario when you play the game. So I would rather create a chaotic scenario such as this and then show you how to resolve a chaotic scenario most efficiently. So I am going to use MK3 belts, but it doesn't matter what belts you're using. You can use MK1, MK2, MK3, doesn't matter. It's all the same basically. So you select your belts, obviously. Then what we are going to do is you're going to have to feed mine charges into all of your blast drills, and then you are going to have to extract the resulting resources, like the iron chunks. You're going to have to extract those. So you have to input one thing and output another thing. So it is a little bit difficult since these drills only have three exits. But we are going to use these 2 in the front because that's easiest. If you really want to be lazy, you can use the one at the side, but then you can't fit as many next to each other as we are doing here, which is once again not 100% efficient, and we want to be 100% efficient. So the input I always do with the vertical up or the vertical down. So this is the vertical up, this is the vertical down. So you use the vertical down like this. You place it, it doesn't matter which port you place it in front of, you just place it one square away from the port, just like this, and then you take it up a little bit. It's really arbitrary, but it shouldn't be near the ground. It should be like 3 up or 4 up. You can basically do what you want. Let's take it 3 up. So basically that is 3 up, and then you do the next one. You take that one 3 up, next one 3 up, and you continue to do this all the way. Just like this. You don't need to distribute the mining charges through the air, technically, like I am doing. You can do it near the ground as well, and it is actually easier near the ground, so I will show you guys in a second how to do it near the ground. But if you have a bunch of conveyor belts near the ground all over the place, it clutters the ground up a little bit. I don't like having my floor cluttered with a whole bunch of conveyor belts. So you can do this if you want to. You can just do this, and then that, and then this, and then that, and then you distribute the mining charges from here, and it will go into each of them. You can do that if you want, totally, but it is not, in my opinion, very nice to have a whole bunch of conveyor belts on the ground. I don't like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide everything into 3, because a single one of these have 3 outputs. It has 1 input and 3 outputs. So you have to make sure that your belts are going into the thing, because we are delivering the mining charges into the blast drills. So we just go like this, and then you turn, and then you go over here, and then like that. That's going to be 1 junction, and then you rotate it over here. Come on. To make it easier for yourself, you can place the junction here already. So you can just place the junction there, just like that. Just to keep it visually easier for yourself. Then you don't need to remember where the junction is. You can literally just place the junction right there. And then this one is gonna go over here, just like that, and we turn it in there. So that is 1 junction completed. Now, because we have so many blast charges, we are going to have to create multiple junctions. So this 1 junction will feed 3 different blast drills. Then we have to do the same over here as well. So you can do this if you want to, like we just did. You can place the junction box there, and then from that you can draw the rest of the conveyor belts like that. So that's basically the next junction. You don't need to put a conveyor belt here. I just like to do it because you can't have 2 of these junction boxes next to each other. So if you try to place another one here, no, try to place another one there, it doesn't allow you to do that. So you always should separate them with a single piece of conveyor belt, and then after that you can place another junction box there, for instance. But we will see if we will do that. We first have to connect all of these, and then we will see how we are actually going to do the distribution of the charges. So then once again, from here, you just select the correct direction, you curve it inwards, and then from here, select the correct direction, and over there, and then this one over here, place one, place the junction box, and then for all of these, I'm using horizontal fixed height. So yeah, when you press V on your keyboard, you are going to be able to select between the normal belt, which will curve downwards like that, and the fixed height belt, which will go straight like that. So we are obviously for all of this using the fixed height belt. We're not using the one that can curve downward. And then over here, we just do the last couple junctions. And it goes from there inwards to there. And then from here inwards to there. So that's basically completed. And then over here, there's only 2 blast furnaces. So that's totally fine. We are just going to put 1 box and then 2 outlets instead of 3 outlets. It doesn't really affect it that we have only 2 instead of 3. It just means these 2 are going to get slightly more, basically 33% more charges than all of the other ones. So that's not the end of the world. Then what we have to do is we have to connect them in groups of 3. So that's 1 group, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 in total, and we are going to connect them to 2, 2. So that is a divisible of 3. If you know what I mean, hopefully I'm explaining it correctly. So what that means is these 2. Oh, actually we have 6. Okay, so that's fine. We actually have 6. So we can connect these 3, and we will do that by doing this. So we place another box there, and then we are going to split these. So it goes over here, and then connect it to that one. And then from here, connect it to this one. So now if we feed the mine charges in here, 33% goes that way, 33% goes that way, and 33% goes that way. And then at this junction box, once again, that 33% that we get from here is split into another 33%, 33%, 33%. So that is balanced as all things should be. Thanos would be really, really proud. So then over here, once again, we're going to place another box over here. And then from here, we move it over here. And we connect it into that one. And then from here, we connect it into this one. So there, once again, we have this junction box feeding 1, 2, 3 hubs, and each of the hubs themselves also split it into 3. Then we have to connect this box and that box, which should be pretty easy. So we can place our mining storage. This is where all of our mines are gonna get stored. Then we place vertical up. We can do 2 of them basically. So let's do it like that. And then we have to bring it up to the level of the other one. That's fine. I think that's the correct level. And then we place a fixed height here, a single fixed height and then a junction box, like that. Then we take the vertical from here and we run it all the way over to this other one. I'm going to leave one space between, but you really shouldn't leave any spaces between, just to maximize the space that you're using, like I did here. Basically, this is how it should be. You can place them right next to each other, but for visual purposes I'm leaving a space between them. But if you want to be 100% efficient, you really shouldn't be leaving any spaces between them. Then we take this all the way over here. And there we go. That is now complete. So the fact that we are not using a second output here doesn't matter. 50% of the blast charges are going to go to the left. 50% of the blast charges are going to go to the right. That's totally fine. And then those 50% are going to get divided into 33, 33, 33. And then those 33% is going to get divided into 33, 33, 33. So that is totally balanced. This entire thing is really, really balanced, except for like over here. Technically, obviously, we only have 2 over here. So these 2 blast furnaces over there, or blast drills, are technically gonna get about 33% more mining charges than all of the others, but that's just gonna mean they are gonna mine a little bit more than all of the others. So that is the complete mining charge distribution network completed for 17 blast drills. So this setup here will be able to run 17 blast drills, and for around that amount, 15 to 16, 17, 18 blast drills, 2 red inserters is enough. 2 red inserters will be able to keep these guys very happy with the amount of mining charges that they need. Let me just connect this to the electricity quickly. So because it is on a raised platform, we just need to connect it to the electricity so that the inserters can function, because the blast furnaces or the blast drills themselves don't use electricity, but the inserters use electricity. Okay, so there they are connected now. You can see the platform now has power. Then we need to place the inserters for all of the mine charges. So 1, 2, 3 inserters. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. So there we go. All of these will now be able to receive their mining charges, and we can actually start it up while we are building the output. We can do the input already. So then all you do is you take your little box over here and you put mining charges in there, just like that. 28,000 mining charges. And then, as you can see, very nice highway of mining charges. So 50% of the charges will go left, 50% of the charges will go right. And then if we get over here to this junction, 33% of the charges will go left to the top and then to the right. And then once again over here, the amount that arrives here will also be divided into 33% in each direction. So it is 100% balanced. So this is a really, really intricate operation that I have here, but I wanted to show you guys how big you can go with the operation. You can do this with literally just 3 blast drills. You can totally do that. You set it up exactly as I set it up, and then over here you just put your box and you have a single inserter feeding these 3 blast drills. You can totally do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to show you guys how big of an operation you can do, and then also how intricate it is. I mean, it's not so difficult if you just imagine everything in groups of 3. You just choose to put down either 3 blast drills or 6 blast drills or 9 blast drills or 12 blast drills. Then it's really not difficult to just imagine them being divided into 3, and then if you have to feed multiple boxes, like that box over there, this box over here, and that box over there, then you just put down another multi-box over here, which will feed that one, and that one. And even if you only have 2, like we did over here, you can just do 2. You just ignore the third one, you know. It's really not that difficult. And yeah, this is now the full mining operation that is running. It's running, and it is generating ore for us as we want. And obviously you can do this with Atlantum, you can do it with the iron chunks, you can do it with copper chunks, you can do it with carbon chunks, you can do it with anything you really want. It all works the same. The logistics are all the same. Then what we are going to do to get the ore out of there is we are going to create with the ground, because like I said, I like to use the air for the mining charges inserted, but for the ground it's much easier to extract the ore using the ground, because these boxes make inserting things very easy if they have to be equal. But when you extract the resources, when you take the resources away, then they don't need to be equal. So we can just literally go crazy like this with the conveyor belts on the ground. It's going to be really, really easy. You just drag it all along like this. Drag it all in the same direction, because it's all going to feed to one single box at the end. And then you can put your box like over here, for instance. And then you just put down your chest. You take 2 green inserters. Hopefully you have green inserters, but the red inserters will work totally fine as well. And then you just connect all of them like this. If they don't want to connect, you just do that. Then it will create a box. That one is fine. This one, you just do that. Then it will create a box. This one, once again, just create a box. And that's totally fine. Then you take your inserter, and we are going to take the resources out. So you need to make sure that the direction that the inserter is pointing in the right direction. It needs to extract the resources, not input the resources, extract the resources. And then you just put one on each of the extraction ports. There we go. The spice must flow. Except it's not spice, it's iron ore that we are making flow. Look at them go. And that's complete. That is a completed mining drill, blast drill assembly. 100, well, almost 100% efficient. If we had a second drill over here or a third drill over here, then it would be 100% efficient. But I wanted to show you guys what you should do in the instance where you might not have an equal amount of blast drills, meaning an equal amount is 3. In this case, an equal amount is 3. So yeah, this is literally it. It took us, without my explanation, like without constantly talking and explaining things, I could build this entire thing in less than 10 minutes, but it took us 25 minutes to explain it. But yeah, this is now 100% efficient, basically, except for that one over there. And we are inserting blast charges. We are not overwhelming the machines with the blast charges, because like I said, if you insert too many blast charges too quickly, then you will be wasting blast charges, and you do get resources quicker. So you do get the resources quicker, but you don't get more resources. It's not like you're getting more resources, you're just getting resources quicker. And you can see that literally right as the 12-second cooldown is expired, because all of these have 12-second cooldowns, then the next mining charge comes in. So that should give you an idea of how very efficient the this setup is, you know. So yeah, that's basically it. We are now mining iron ore chunks with 17 blast drills, and it's really a pretty basic setup. If you really look at the logistics of it, it's not so difficult. It takes about 10 minutes to set up, and yeah, it's relatively easy to do once you understand the concept of thinking in threes. You just need to think in threes, and then with the highways you need to think, okay, 50%, 50%, or in this case 33, 33, 33, and then over here from this box it's 50%, 50%. But we could have added an additional 6 blast drills if we wanted to, and then we would have used this conveyor belt over here to go over to that 6. But yeah, this is basically 100% perfect except for those 2 over there. And yeah, I hope you guys can understand the concept correctly. And at the end of the day, it's just a numbers game, you know. You're dividing the resource, the blast shells, blast mines that you're putting in here into 50-50, and then when they get over there, they're getting divided into 33, 33, 33, and then when they get over here, they're getting divided into 33, 33, 33. So yeah, I hope you guys understand it. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below, but I hope that I have been as deliberate in my explanation as I possibly can, because I assume that you guys have not yet played a whole bunch of the game, but you will definitely understand the game more and more as you play it more. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it. That is how you set up a blast mining operation. As always, if the video helps you, your support on patreon.com/LFP would be very much appreciated. Thanks a lot for watching guys, and I will see you guys next time.